Hi, my name is Pastor Doralyn Lalwaye, and I work for Vanuatu Mission, and I look after the departments of Children's Ministries, Women's Ministries, and Community Service. Over the last few years that I have been working with women and children and in the community service work, we have discovered mostly young girls who have been aborting their babies, and instead of taking them to a care center or a family, they threw their babies in garbage and in the bush and buried them. And even some mothers have been jailed for this crime. God has put in my heart a passion and a dream. Maybe we can save unwanted babies.
At what point does this story start for you?
Okay, the beginning point for me was about 2 years ago. A doc at my front door came and I was introduced to Doralyn, a lady from Vanuatu that had a passion.
When this dream was given to me, my vision was to have an institution where I can care for mothers and babies, as many as the need falls.
A woman's refuge, a place that we can bring these young mums and a place where they can come and be educated about, where they're heading, the needs for themselves and for the child, and to give them another option. We didn't want them to feel that they needed to get rid of their baby.
In Vanuatu, we do not have a social welfare service, and we do not have any women's refuge center.
Instantly, that just hit my heart. So together we prayed on our front doorstep and just said to each other as we parted, let's just see what God does from here. And she left, and sort of instantly I felt this passion to want to go forward and do something and help Doralyn in her dream.
We went over to Port Vila to actually see and find out the need of what's actually there, and also to potentially look for land and location for a project such as this. Basically went there looking pretty small and long term. This was a project that we envisaged to take a couple of years, and well, we thought of getting it off the ground by renting a property. God had other plans.
We went and we looked at rentals, we looked at other properties as well, but nothing came up ideal except this property that was ideal in more ways than we could imagine. And we thought, well, that's a lot bigger door than we were thinking was going to open while we were here. Before we went to look at that property, the night before, we had a season of prayer and we asked that God would direct in the activities of the next day, and that if it was His will, the owner of the property would be there and he would shed more light about the details of the property that we might need to know. And the next day, when the team showed up, the owner of the property was there and he gave every detail. So we felt that that was an answer to our prayer of the night before.
This property that we have looked at, that we feel that God has shown us, is far better than we ever dreamed that the safe haven would ever become. Everything about it, from how secure the property is to it's all self-sustainable, from electricity to water to all the gardens, the plantations that the property owner has planted over the last 17 years.
And the fact that ADRA wanted to come on board and partner with us in this project just sort of lifted a weight off our shoulders. All of a sudden this project was looming huge in front of us, and we were excited by it, but we were daunted by it. And the fact that ADRA could see that there's a need for this project to be happening in Vanuatu and wanted to partner with us was really exciting. Everything about the property at this point seems to fit exactly what we would hope to achieve at the end of our project, and it's there already.
The name of the project or the company organisation will be called El Haven, which in itself is pretty cool because, you know, to us in English it just means like, you know, safe haven, but if you break it down into Hebrew it means God's home.
It not only looks after the needs of the children but the women as well, and its goal is much more keeping a family unit together, which is important for a child to know its mother, for a mother to care for its child. It will provide a safe environment for these women when they are in crisis, whatever their crisis may be, and with all of that it will teach them about a God who loves them and their child as well.
So as soon as I heard this idea from Doralyn, I thought, well, what can I do? I figured the only thing I can do right now is to maybe raise some funds, just start at that point and see where I can go from there. So in the last 2 years, I've managed to raise around $12,000 over a few different fundraisers, and you know that's taken time, but for me I've never done anything like that before. $12,000 was a big thing for me. But now God has opened this door that way bigger than I expected, and the money that I'm asking now is well and truly exceeds anything I imagined.
But the real passion that I have is that they have a place to go to, a safe place to go to, and where they can be comfortable, to look after them at the same time, to be able to save their life from abuse and until they can recover, and if possible they go back to their families, but this time with better understanding of the values of life